This video addresses connecting the MS5000 to power and to your computer. On the back of the MS5000 you'll note the power switch, the input power supply, the LAN connection, this is what we're going to use to connect to our computer, and 3 other ports that are for accessories which we'll not use today. Additionally, there's an input for inert gas or air, also we're not going to use for this application. The first thing to do is to connect the power cord into the MS5000. And secondly, connecting the Ethernet cable to the back of the MS5000. The other end of the Ethernet cable goes to the PC. If you have a PC that doesn't have an Ethernet connection, or you need a second Ethernet connection but no second card, you can use a USB to Ethernet converter. Nothing more than a USB connection on one end and an Ethernet connection on the other that allows you then to connect that to such things as laptops and other computers that may not have a hard Ethernet connection. This is the FI Configurator software. This software allows you to find MS5000s on the network as well as change the IP address to conform more to a LAN or WAN configuration in your corporate infrastructure. By selecting Find Devices, the software will go out and interrogate looking for devices that respond to the special command and report back the IP addresses. If I double-click on the address, you'll note down here that it's populated with the various settings that are important for that instrument. When you actually find devices, you may see more than one device depending on the number of connected instruments to your WAN or LAN. When I change, or if I need to change, the IP address to conform to my infrastructure, this is the location where I would make that change. Once it's changed, you can then write the new IP address settings temporarily to go and check the settings, or write them permanently to make the change inside the instrument's firmware, and then forever having the new IP address. If you make a mistake, just run the software again, find devices, and then change the IP address to the one that you actually need. Or if your infrastructure changes, you can always go back and update these instruments with the new correct IP address. The software you see here is the ESR Studio software. This software allows control of the MS5000 via the Ethernet connection using an IP address. Normally you don't use this software in routine operation, as you will use the Ariel software for dosimetry readings, calibration, and such. This software runs underneath the Ariel software to actually access and run the ESR system. What we'll do is we're going to come over here to the System tab, select it, and then you'll see a series of other tabs. What we'll do here is select the Settings tab. In the Settings tab, we have the IP address. If the system is connected directly to your PC, we'll use this address as it's discussed or as it's described. The 71 is actually the serial number of the instrument, and the 11 is the model type of instrument, in this case the MS5000. Don't change the port, as it needs to stay on this port. Once you've made any changes, either using the address that's connected directly to a PC, or if you've changed this address with FI Configurator, you'll put in the correct IP address to connect to the instrument, and then you want to hit Save to make sure that the changes are saved into the local file. To allow a computer to connect directly to the MS5000 without going through a LAN or a WAN, we're going to start with the Windows settings and select Network and Internet. From here, we're going to select the Ethernet selection and then change adapter options. Once we've selected the network connections, we'll see the different connections we may have possible for the MS5000. We'll select the one that's actually connected to the instrument. Once you're at the Ethernet adapter properties, select Internet Protocol version 4. Then make sure the IP address corresponds to the IP address in the MS5000 ESR Studio, with the exception of the last digit must be 1. This is because you cannot have 2 IP addresses with the same numbers, otherwise there would be a conflict. So in this case, we're going to pick the number 1, which is not one of the serial numbers of the instrument. In addition, make sure the subnet has 255.255.0.0 and then click OK. Once we've configured an IP address to talk directly to the MS5000 from the ESR Studio, we'll make sure that in our system settings the IP address is correctly set, and once we've ensured that and saved it away, we'll go back to the main control setting. From the main control setting, we need to initialize the unit, and this will start the communication between the MS5000 and the software. So we'll hit initialize. You'll notice that the fan noise picks up significantly, and in the bottom left-hand side of the screen, you'll see the word initializing. Once that's complete, the fan noise will dissipate back to a slow turn, and you'll see the initializing change to idle. Once that's happened, you know now that the MS5000 is correctly communicating with the software.